Space junk is a massive problem. Russia's anti-satellite missile test just made it worse. On Monday, Russia fired a missile at one of its own satellites as a test, generating thousands of pieces of debris that sent crew members on the International Space Station scrambling for cover. But the newly created space junk also adds to the more than 9,600 tons of debris orbiting our planet, according to the European Space Agency. More than 6 decades after the Soviets launched the first satellite, Sputnik 1, the junkyard in our skies is growing. Experts warn that much like the climate crisis facing Earth, space is also feeling the impact of human activity. You can look at the buildup of plastic in Earth's oceans, and the buildup of junk in orbit around the Earth as being very similar, said Hugh Lewis, professor of engineering and physical sciences at the UK's University of Southampton. Space junk was not on the negotiating table at the 26 Colombian pesos climate summit. Junkyard in the sky, invisible in the night sky. There are hundreds of millions of debris objects orbiting our planet. This debris is composed of parts of old satellites as well as entire defunct satellites and rocket bodies. As these fragments knock into each other, they can create yet more pieces of smaller orbital debris.
The smaller the fragment, typically the faster it will decay out of the environment, said Lewis. The debris created from Russia's missile test ranges in altitude from 440 kilometers to 520 kilometers. According to space tracking service Leo Labs. Debris at roughly this altitude is a concern but in many senses a blessing, said Lewis. He explained that the debris would essentially rain down and burn up as it re-enters Earth's atmosphere. But Russia's recent missile test will also cause a significant increase of obstacle collision avoidance actions to be taken by satellites, said Tim Florer, an expert in space debris at the European Space Agency. He said that while people may not feel the immediate impact of space junk in their daily lives, society is nonetheless increasingly depending on space as an infrastructure for a lot of services on ground. If the amount of space debris increases further and further, it endangers the future use of space by everyone, he said. Russia flexes space muscles. Why Russia would carry out this test now is the billion-dollar question, said Lewis. This is not the first time Russia has carried out such tests. But Monday's incident drew Western condemnation for potentially endangering the ISS and its crew. The crew had to quickly don their spacesuits and jump into their spacecrafts in case the station was hit by some passing debris, according to Russia's space agency Roscosmos. But in a message posted on Twitter, Roscosmos downplayed the danger. The orbit of the object, which forced the crew today to move into spacecraft according to standard procedures, has moved away from the ISS orbit, Roscosmos tweeted. The station is in the green zone. The incident comes at a time of increased tensions between the US and Russia. US officials have publicly sounded the alarm about Russia's buildup of troops near its border with Ukraine and joined European nations in expressing concern about the migrant crisis on the border with Russia's close ally Belarus.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.